Are you ready to crown a champion today? And of course, for everyone watching from home, we want to hear from you. Make sure to use hashtag ECS7 and let us know who you're cheering for, FURIA or Vitality. That grand finals will be beginning in just a little bit. But for now, Freya, over to you.
That is right, Sue. We started off with 8 teams, but now we have whittled it down to just 2, fighting for the chance to be crowned the ECS Season 7 champions. On one side, we have a former ECS champion himself joining up with a new French side in Vitality. And on the other, we have the Brazilian underdogs of FURIA fighting to lift the trophy for the first time together. And of course, I could not get through this grand final alone. I have the wonderful Sponge and Maniac joining me up here on the desk. And what a grand final this is shaping up to be.
Yeah, very unexpected, right? I think all the results through this one have surprised people, but having FURIA come through, having Alex in front of the home crowd, you know, the chance is going to be there for him. There's a storyline here for everybody.
Yeah, there is, right? I mean, is it expected? No. Is it exciting? Yes. And the fact that these two teams have evolved so quickly, obviously FURIA one step quicker than Vitality. A few weeks ago, we talked about them as a potential surprise. Now they've really confirmed that, you know, they can do it. They did in Dallas. They were dangerous here. Now they're in the grand final. And Vitality as well, slowly but surely on the steep, improving, and now in the grand final.
Well, yes, exactly, and we'll be getting into our grand final very shortly. But of course, after that's over, it isn't all the CS action we have left for you. We have our Caffeine After Show, hosted by Parla over on caffeines.com/FACEIT. And if you missed out on yesterday's show, it was absolutely fantastic. We had a live band there and a chance to win a PC, so make sure you head on over after our grand final. But first, let's get into our format. If you're not familiar with this, you've missed out on a lot of good Counter-Strike. We started off with Group A and Group B, and now it has been whittled down to just 2 teams, Vitality and, of course, FURIA. And looking at these groups, right, guys, they weren't the 2 teams we expected to be in this grand final.
No, not by any means. I think you can see Astralis, that was the big surprise. They got beaten by FURIA twice in this tournament alone, so that's huge right there. And obviously MIBR, another really big name, not making it through. NIP as well, they were definitely struggling going out 0-2 to Astralis in that lower bracket. But for me, you know, having Vitality and having FURIA, who both came through the Pinnacle Cup to get to this point, right, they went through all the barriers, all the hurdles, and they've put on some very impressive CS, so hopefully we get that in the grand final as well.
I agree. I mean, I just look at this graphic and I think about NIP. We haven't paid that much attention to the Swedish squad, but yes, they were frustrated in Dallas. Obviously, Dennis was not able to make it to the tournament, and you would thought they come here, they are prepared, they're hungry, they want some revenge, and it didn't happen. They fell flat,
Rakim
and it is
sold.
worrying because for a few months, I would say
17 dice I gente bom dia novo conseguir entrar para joga esses dias PQ to sem internet e passo a todos por favor now me tirem de Rakim sempre quiser EAGRK conseguir.
The shortest route, right? They both had to go through that lower bracket.
Yeah, I think the Vitality one here having to topple, well, look, they lost to North. They made it through. They were able to get back against Complexity here and come through. Like, the MIBR upset against Complexity kind of made that possible, I would say. But Complexity with a fantastic showing, right? Obo on a stage at a LAN for the first time, 15-year-old kid. The same story, you know, started at 11, older brother got him into it.
Isn't it?
It's, yeah, you've heard it once or twice before. Positive signs for Complexity, but not so much for the other teams. Vitality still trying to keep that hype alive because they've been on the road now, they've been competing in back-to-back tournaments, and they're continuing to deliver. They're ranked number 4 in the world at this point. I'd be interested to see where they end up after we finish today.
Well, exactly, and I mean, we're going to be getting our 2 grand finalist teams
Rakim sold.
on the stage very shortly. But let's have a look and see what
17 dis now by Demora Muito now PAREU Volter.
We weren't expecting that, we were expecting a little bit more back and forth.
Well, I guess the FURIA versus North one was really, really exciting. At some point, third map was definitely on the cards, and this is when we've seen it had all the makings of a series that you remember, like insane clutches, back and forth, no one really making it, and then FURIA closing it. The emotion was insane, so that game really got me. I was stuck, I was thinking about it, I watched the VODs again. It was just a firework.
Yeah, they've made their mark, right? I think their unique take on Counter-Strike, the way that they've approached this tournament. If you look at them statistically speaking, none of their players even look like they put any damage downrange, but they have, and they've been able to do it as a team to get to this point. So I think that the interesting conversation here is about how well ZywOo is being able to do time and time again. Highest rated player in the tournament, isn't he? Or is the device still above him? There's something along those lines.
On a list about ZywOo?
Yeah.
I have some. You know, you sometimes do it. I have a list here.
Okay.
So you have these categories of people who are really good in one department of the game. Well, ZywOo is rating, kill difference, damage difference, total kills, kills per round, round with 1 kill, clutches, AVP, top 5 in all of it.
Well, and we'll be able to meet our grand finalist teams very, very shortly. But first, let's take a look at how they got to this stage.
I'm really looking forward to be playing that final. It's a rematch against FURIA, one of the most surprising and enjoyable team to watch. So yeah, very happy with the path we made so far, but losing is not an option. We have to win that final.
I'm really proud of my team to be here and play the finals, ECS finals. It's a dream coming true, so I will be yelling a lot for sure. Here are some final words before the finals.
If you want my future, forget my past.
Rhoda Cell.
If you wanna
Xiang.
get it with
551 D Snoop E photo hahaha Nago Maze X9 to PM.
Now, don't go wasting my precious time.
get your act together, we could be just fine.
Now, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I really, really wanna zig-a-zig.
If you wanna be on my team,
You gotta get with my friends.
let's make it last forever.
Friendship never ends.
London, it is time. Only 2 teams remain today, and it all comes down to this. These players fight not just for the money, not just for that trophy, but for the prestige and honor to be crowned champion in front of all of you today. So I ask you right now, are you ready? Please welcome your grand finalists, Furia and Vitality.
What an incredible set of teams we have here for our grand final. The underdogs of FURIA absolutely decimated the competition, taking down Australis not just once, but twice in an unbelievable performance. And of course, the side of Vitality with superstar Zyro and crowd favorite Alex there with his England flag. Pretty proud moment there.
Yeah, I think his parents were sitting in the crowd yesterday just behind me. They sounded proud, that's for sure, as he walked out on stage. So this for him, as he gets the crowd chanting his name, must be a fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I play with him. He's so passionate about the game, so invested. Yes, we've had issues when we were in MDLC, but his commitment was always 200%. And I'm so glad that he gets that game now. He's on stage, he's at home, he has the crowd with him, and he's about to make something historic for his team.
Well, exactly. And I mean, he's definitely the crowd favorite here. We can hear them already chanting his name. But we're going to take a look at how much this means to the teams, because they have given some phenomenal reactions, really. Let's take a look at some of these replays.
Yeah, I think the Brazilians, right, it's known for flair. This is even just going back to the days when Fallen and Co were coming up through, because these guys especially, they've stuck through. There was the buyout, the whole Quesarado situation, and they've stayed together as a team. They've had this goal as they've come together. And, you know, if you look at their history, they've chopped and changed, well, they chopped and changed a little bit last year, and people weren't even looking at them, right? This year coming into it, what they've already achieved is phenomenal in terms of where they were, where they weren't even known, and now they're in the grand final of an event like this. So fantastic stuff coming in from the Brazilians, but we get a rematch, right? This has already been played on now. This was a quarterfinal matchup over in Dallas. We saw these two teams go toe-to-toe, and Furia walked all over the French, right? It wasn't even a close game.
Yeah, 16-8 in both maps, right? Like, not even close.
It was a slap, and I was talking with Vitality, and they told me we knew what they were doing. We had it ready. We had watched the demos. We knew they would be a little bit crazy, a bit savage on the server. But knowing what they're doing is a thing. Countering it is another. So today, in the big stage, in the grand final, they get the second opportunity to show that they can stop the Fury.
It's weird when you look at this matchup, right? Because the French, they have the experience. They have players who have been here before. They have players who have won majors. And then you pair them up against Fury, a team who's come from absolutely nowhere. They haven't really been noticed that much, and now they're playing on a stage. So if you take experience as the factor, and that's where you're going to be hedging your bets, you go towards Vitality. But if you look at the record between the two teams, you would just have to say Furia. Because I was looking at like the opening kills or like the clutch factors. In that Inferno game, they were equal in terms of opening kills. The clutches did go in the way of Furia, but that's not a swing of, 8 rounds in a matchup. So when I look at this, maybe the play style of Furia is just something that teams aren't used to having to counter just yet. They're still acclimatizing to it.
Well, no, of course. I mean, I know I was speaking to you about it, Maniac. Apex is an incredibly emotional and vocal player, right? But we saw Alex coming out and doing it yesterday too. He was absolutely astounded to be making it to that grand final.
Yeah, Alex has transformed himself over the course of the past few weeks. I would say, obviously, his position in Vitality has changed. You know, he has taken over the in-game leadership. He has taken more space. I think the positions that he plays are a little bit better. And to me, this is the difference maker, because Zaiwo's always been insane, right? But now you have Alex that is actually coming to his own, finding his form again, being impactful. We saw in the semi-final, he had a fantastic game, fantastic series, and he was very quiet at the beginning. I've played with him. I know he can be impactful, so it's great to see him do it now.
They're going to need some very big calls from him today, right? Because some of the things to note when they did play in the series last time was it felt that if their first plan didn't work, they didn't have anything to fall back on. They weren't as reactive, whereas a team like FURIA, they react so quickly, they suffocate you, right? So in that stylistic matchup right there, that's when the in-game leader has to step up and be quick on the calls, or a player has to take ownership of that. So lots of pressure here on Alex going into this matchup especially, but Zaiwo, he hasn't wavered. We're going to see him waver in a grand final. That's the next question.
Well, exactly. I mean, you kind of touched on it there, but FURIA are such an unpredictable team, right? How do you kind of deal with that as Vitality coming into this best of three?
It is very tough, and especially because before that tournament, I thought as FURIA as a team that is, you know, if the A plan works, it's fine. They're going to roll over you. They're going to snowball you. But if they have trouble in the beginning, they will falter. Well, that's not the case anymore. This is wrong. For that tournament, it is wrong. They have proven that they have depth. They can come back into games. They lose. I mean, they don't have that much open kill at the beginning of the rounds, and they still find it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could, but they have it in them.
Yeah, with their trading as well, their stat lines aren't fantastic at all. So it's really strange. The 5 individuals not within the top 5 in the tournament, not within the top 10 in the tournament, right? Normally coming into these environments saying, oh, you know, they've got 3 players in the top 10 and that's why they've been getting through. No, they've just been doing it with a very stubborn, I would say, style of CS. You could see on Overpass yesterday, they were really persistent on going long, Banana as well. They have their game plan and they make it work. And then they can just, I don't know how they break you down, but they're able to do it. And I think you have to credit Art and the coaching staff for that one here over at FURIA, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they are really good at realizing every inch of the map that they can take for free, and they will do it. So it puts you under such a lot of pressure. If you don't take just one area of the map, one information, they're going to take it instantly. Yes, that's a risk sometimes, but when it works, they have everything for them.
I mean, Chad, I know you picked up a little demo for us to watch.
It's a funny one.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce it to the crowd?
So this is when they played last time, and this was just a bit of an eco stack that, you know, the guys from Vitality decided to mount. And look, we've seen these come out on different positions on the map, but the reason I bring this up, and the reason I want to focus on this, is because losing to ecos is something that has been very, very prominent for Vitality in this tournament. They're losing to those low buy rounds that they should be converting. If they can stop that, if they can change that and be winning the rounds that they should, then they can actually get some commanding leads in games. But if they're going to continue to drop those rounds, FURIA can stop them. Just to cite some stats, when they played last time, they split the pistols 2-2. But the problem was with the pistols that Vitality won, they lost the force buy. So they didn't really get away with anything there. FURIA, in my opinion, you know, got the better of that situation. So, you know, if they are going to be losing the pistols, they need to have nice inventive ecos like that, and they need to make sure when they force the team onto eco that they can convert against FURIA, because it's going to be very important today.
Well, yeah, and I mean, obviously we saw Vitality playing NLG yesterday, and it was a series that really went down to the wire in that first map. What are you kind of taking from that coming into this game?
Well, we said it first. I think Alex had one of his most impressive performances, considering the importance of the series, right? I also think that Vitality is showing resilience, mentally speaking, and it has been an issue for the French team for the longest time, that we would get a little bit angry, we would have our emotions take over, but they can actually stay calm, and I think they have managed to find the right balance between being very excited. We have seen them get very vocal and shout, and, you know, with the arm and everything, but then when they need to, I think they can find their calm, and this is new to me.
Yeah, something that's important with at least the narrative that's been pushed out of the Vitality camp is everybody's on the same page with work ethic and, you know, having the same game plan or being able to look at it and approach it in the same way. And that's important because the French in the past, I think you can attest to this, relatively dysfunctional. Like, people won't remember, but there's events like back in 2015 where they would just be arguing non-stop, and this is at the event live, right? So these aren't in-game things either. This is like personal on the outside. So for the French to be able to fix that, this is one step in the right direction, and they're already playing fantastic CS, at least out of the active teams right now. Lots of teams are skipping, and you know, they question their rank right now as number 4 in the world. But in terms of teams who are currently playing, they have to be within the top 5.
Well, I mean, I think we can say exactly the same thing for FURIA, right? In terms of work ethic, they've all been stepping up individually when we've needed them to.
Yes, very much so. FURIA is an enigma to me, because every time I see them play, I'm thinking to myself, okay, take your time, this is 1 event, this is 2 events, maybe I should be careful with what I say. And every time they surprise me, they show new layers to their tactic, they show skill I mean, they have everything. They have the whole package. Now, I don't know if this is going to be forever, this is long term, but the way they have been playing these past few weeks, if you just copy that and pass it on for the next years, they are a top team. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, they will have to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, I think a big thing right now is even if it is just now, they still have lightning in a bottle, the way that they're playing, the way that they're continuing to push. It's not just one tournament and then they dip off. People haven't been able to counter it yet. They haven't been able to adjust. And that's what's impressive to me. So the longevity of this, it is in question. But when I was in there playing the show match, I had obviously Fall and Gerard, everyone, and I said, what do you guys think? Like, what is this matchup for you? And they said 50-50, right? And that's how I feel about this game as well, because you have Vitality who have the experience, but you have Furia who had still continuing, even though the pressure is mounting, playing like they have nothing to lose. They're just playing such loose Counter-Strike and going out there already exceeding their own expectations, exceeding everyone in the Counter-Strike world's expectations. So I'm hoping when they step onto the stage right now for the grand final, they haven't compounded any pressure and they just continue to play the CS we've seen so far.
I mean, we've touched on it before, but we need to do it again. They took down Astralis not just in a best of 1, but in a best of 3, and that really cemented them as a team that could take down top-tier CS teams.
Yes, they've had many of these reference series in a very, very short time. If you think about it, they have taken down Astralis twice, as you said. In Dallas, they lost to Liquid, sure, but the first map was really, really tight. Then they got a rollover on the second one. They pushed ENVIE to 3 maps. So these are all top team, established top teams, top 3 probably. And FURIA gave them a run on every series they had recently. So how crazy is that when you consider where they are in their development?
I think that's I'm just astonished, right? I've almost don't have words for the situation because we've had teams who have grinded like Ents, right? You know, they've grinded to the top, they've been a consistent unit now, but Furia, just in the way that they've gone from seemingly nothing, obviously at the minor, there was a little bit of excitement around them. For me, it was mainly just their prowess on the T side with extra layers of strategies, but they're competing with the best of them. And I think that's what the important thing is. They're not scared. You can see that in their playstyle. They're very aggressive. They back themselves in individually. And all these factors with the quirkiness, with the fact that they've built a foundation, they have confidence, and they've all bought into the project, another team, they're just going to continue to do what they're doing. And this is another test to see if they can withstand any pressure, even if it exists for these guys.
Well, exactly. I mean, we're going to be putting 2 players under the microscope in Zayu and in our head-to-head. 2 players that have really been shining throughout this whole tournament.
I mean, we have talked a lot about Zayu, and I think this is absolutely rightful and justified. But just to touch upon Art, before that semi-final yesterday, he was having a quiet tournament, right? The stats were not for him. That's the case for the whole FURIA team.
Yeah.
But how impactful he was in that series in semi-final, to me, was mind-blowing. When you're a captain, you have the AWP, you are involved in 50% of the opening duels at the beginning of the round. He was stopping the frags, he was stopping the damage, he was presenting clutches, he had 2 crazy clutches. So when you, as a captain, are able to do that and push your team through, even though you're having a hard tournament or a bad tournament, to me that's such a strong sign of resilience.
Yeah, and he takes a lot of responsibility, right? Positions that he puts himself in to allow the team to make certain stacks or plays, he is doing that on his own. Not necessarily, as say Inferno as an example, he wasn't getting kills, but he was getting information, which was, you know, very important in that regard. So I think the key thing with the Fury roster is Art needs to be the leader to get them into situations, but everybody can step up and have moments. We've seen that every single player on this team has had moments when they've needed to, a clutch, a multi-kill. It's not necessarily the star performances that we're used to, but it's their play style mixed with the individuals knowing what they need to do and getting it done when they have to, when the chips are down, and making it work, that is most impressive about Furia.
Well, definitely, and we're going to be heading into our map veto to see exactly how this best of 3 is going to be playing out. Anything that you're expecting to come from this?
Well, in terms of veto, I believe that Dust2 and Train are not going to be part of the map split.
Yep.
Dust2 is getting ridden off by FURIA. That's their natural veto. It's a good map for Vitality, makes sense. Now, the Train ban as well. All of this follows logic, and now this is when it can potentially get crazy.
So last time round, the picks came in and we had Furia picking Inferno, and then the follow-up pick for Vitality was Nuke. I think they might maybe stay away from Nuke this time. I don't see Vitality wanting to take it there again, but maybe Overpass. We've seen that as a weakness for Furia. Or maybe not a weakness, but a map where they've shown that they maybe don't have it as together as the other maps. So that'll be maps 1 and 2, and then 3. I think both teams would probably be happy with, you know, Nuke ending up there. Oh, Furia actually getting rid of Mirage. I thought that's a map where they might feel, you know, confident just taking fights.
Yeah, I believe we will see Nuke. I mean, Vitality would have to deliberately choose to let Vertigo as a 3rd map when they haven't played in the past 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If they let Vertigo through here, they know something I don't.
Well, that's the thing. We haven't.
Ooh, we have it! We have it!
What a way to wrap up on
Yes!
the final. That is
Vertigo the 3rd map!
Well, we need to hope we get there, right? This
Yeah.
is the question,
Yeah,
if we can
that's-
even make it to that 3rd map. And I think something to note here, Furia, they've played the map twice and they're undefeated, but they haven't played it in an official since the changes. So we know what Vitality can do. They've got the smoke for the hole in the wall. They've already sorted that one out. They've got their executes on point. If we get that far, it'll be interesting, but That's the question. Are we even going to get that far?
Well, we're going to be talking about that as we head into our predictions. Is it going to be a 3-map series, Maniac? What do you think?
I believe we have everything for 3 maps here, right? Chat was saying it, 50-50. We know we were not supposed to say that at the desk. We're not supposed to say it, but there are so many arguments, so many points to be made for each team. I mean, you talk about individuals, talking about tactics, experience on one hand, the craziness on the other, the emotions, both sides. So yes, we have everything for a 3rd map. And it pains me to say it, but I believe FURIA is going to make it in 3 maps. They have convinced me.
Okay.
Well, betraying your French roots there. What about you, Sponge? Are you going to be siding with the Brazilians?
Look, I think that I'm just going to stick on the hype train that is FURIA right now. I think that this is a matchup that could go either way, but they've impressed me time and time again, and I may as well back them in here because this would just be a fairy tale run from these guys and a fantastic way for them to show up on the international scene. So let's see if the Brazilians can do it.
Well, I'm going to go completely the other direction. I'm going to go with Vitality because A, I believe in the star power of Zoe, and Alex, right? He's our resident Brit here. I can't not say them, so I'm going to be going with Vitality for this, but I do believe it is going to be a 3-map series. And Sliggy as well.
Too.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing, right? With the matchups going last time 16-8 in the favor of FURIA, that's stompings. That's not close matchups, right? But if Maniacs is what's saying is right, they know how to prepare for it, and this time around Vitality can be more settled, then there is a chance for a really good series and then maybe to even take it easily.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have a look at our user predictions as well to see what the fans at home are saying. And siding with the Brazilians of FURIA, not really too unexpected, right? The Brazilian scene and its fan base is absolutely massive, and they're definitely going to be out supporting their boys here.
Underdog story, everybody loves it. Everyone
Yes,
gets behind it. I think the odds will probably reflect a pretty 50-50 game as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at our Pinnacle eSports odds. Yeah, so it's still favouring in the side of FURIA, but that is for the first map. Yeah, so we'll be coming back in between maps, and we'll be having a look at our Pinnacle odds as they update. But of course, you at home can be watching on our Premium Pass. Make sure you are subscribed to the Face It Twitch channel, and you will get access to 10 unique player POV streams, an interactive map. You're able to cheer for your favourite player as well, which is really awesome. So you can see who else is cheering on for your favourite player. But I'm quickly going to come to these guys. And if you are watching with our Premium Pass, these are the players they're going to be watching. So, Chad, let's come to you first.
K-Serato had a really big game on Inferno yesterday, so maybe watch him, see if he can do the same magic again.
I'm going to go with Art, just because he has blown my mind times and times again, every round. Even when he doesn't get fragged, the fact that he gets so much information, he takes so many risks, it's just an exciting player to watch.
Well, exactly, and I'm incredibly excited to be able to get into this grand final. But before we do that, we're going to be heading to a quick break, but make sure you join us back after that. Introducing the ECS Premium Pass. The unique viewing experience allows you to get further into the action. It enables you to focus on any player within the game and even the ECS official observer. Subscribers will have access.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Oh, baby. Gonna get down.
Took my heart and made it colder. I took my soul and tried to run, but I have nowhere to hide. And you'll find me every time.
What's up, London? We've got Alex, we've got UK guy. I want to hear Yobbo chants, I want to hear Roadman chants, Air Nikes, all that kind of nonsense. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting final. Vertigo as a potential decider. Things are going to get nasty, man. They're going to get disgusting, Dan.
Yeah, this is a really weird one. This has thrown me completely because I feel like FURIA, they're a team, James. They've got all the technology for that map. They have all the know-how for it. They've got the set pieces. Then you know they're nerding out on that map. You know it. That's their bread and butter. Vitality, I've got no idea. I didn't expect that. You can see, obviously, from when they said in the depths, there's no history. They have no history on it. It's very unusual.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's fear of Nuke. I think it was between Nuke and Vertigo. So I don't know if that's fear from FURIA. If you look at the HLTV stats, FURIA are at an advantage, on paper at least, on almost every single map. So, of course, they might not be playing the level of competition that Vitality might be in Europe, but as we've seen, FURIA are an extremely dangerous team. So I am very excited to see where this one might go. This is really interesting for me. The knife is about to start to see who starts on the CT side of Inferno. This is going to be a big match.
Yeah, it really will be. And I think it's really interesting too because all these maps, both teams have there's a lot of data out there. Well, there's a lot of data out there, except really for Vertigos. But for the first two maps, Inferno and Overpass, these teams, I would expect that they'd be studying each other. You know, FURIA, this is the thing, right? They've broken out into the top level. Now everyone's eyes are on them. Like their kind of quirky defaults and all the rest of it, their set pieces, their boosts, all of that. People have a keen eye on it. So I would expect Vitality to be quite prepared for their shenanigans.
Yeah, we talk about the T side for FURIA, and they will be starting on the T side now. FURIA did get some challenges in some of the previous matches, especially on Inferno. We saw how many liberties Art was able to take in terms of information. When teams were pushing A, they didn't really challenge him on B. They put smokes up, he just went beyond them and so on. I don't expect that they will get away with that versus Vitality, and I think that Vitality might be able to try and abuse that. I'm sure they will. They'll have to expect that there's going to be 4 people on the A bomb site quite a lot of the time, so I would expect we'll see them trying to breach B with some late timing, but it will be Vitality starting on the CT side, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. We saw some clips of both teams with really hype coaches, and you know, Alex is well up for this one as well. I'm sure he would love to win this on home turf.
Yeah, and that man on your screen there, Zaiwu, he's such a crazy X factor for the team. I mean, I think I think maybe Henry or somebody said it earlier. You know, perhaps behind Simple, the best player behind Simple, which is pretty ridiculous. The fact that he can do the things that he does, you know, just pulling out aces out of nowhere. You never know when he's going to go off, and he can create such crazy situations in the match, and that's something that FURIA are going to have to face up against now. And I'm really curious what Zairu's performance will be like here. You know, he's already up for the MVP. His stats are ridiculous, as always, in this tournament.
Yeah, I think for those of you on Twitch Premium Pass, I think Zairu's a good pick for this particular one. I think he's going to be key for victories in general, which is kind of obvious for Vitality. But generally speaking, I'm really interested to see how Vitality will approach Banana when they're on the T side. But again, they will be starting on the CT side, so we'll see them defend first. There's man Alex taking a look at the crowd. He's got the England flag on his back of his chair. So we will soon be into this. This is a big final for both of these teams, both rising up the ranks at the moment. FURIA looking to be the #1 team in Brazil, but look, they're already looking beyond that. As they said in interviews, it's not about Brazil, it's about the world. They want to rise as much as possible, and maybe this will give us a clue as to where their ceiling might be in the short term.
Yeah, one of the great things about FURIA as well on their T sides, they are really good at mixing up the pace, but they have that affinity for playing fast, for playing aggressive, for pushing smokes, to go for contact plays. They have that structure, but they also have enough space within it to allow their individuals to make plays at any point. And that's a really exciting play style to watch. Obviously, this map can be a bit more limiting due to the heavy amount of choke points that you're up against. Not as many open spaces as a map like Mirage or a Dusty or something like that. But it's still going to be really interesting to see the kinds of aggressions on their T side. I'm curious what they think Vitality's weaknesses will be, because I am sure they've studied up, and you can tell in some of their past matches, they've been able to, I think Art said it, just based off of what he had seen of some of his opposition. He changed veto last minute. He's like, yeah, I know how to abuse this team, in this way, so we're going to go for this veto. They obviously have a keen eye of how to counter-strat their opponents, so I'm curious what they have prepared here for Vitality.
All right, the countdown has begun. And we are off to the races. Vitality will defend to begin with. 4 players of Kevlar, RPK with a smoke grenade and a defuse kit. Vinny's been made the raid boss. P250 raid boss on Inferno. This is quite rare looking at T sides of most of the teams, but I love to see it. So we'll see if he's able to get those one-shots over a Glock. Art and K-Serato with some grenades as well. We can see that smoke and the flash about to be deployed. Jumping into top mid, trying to avoid getting a headshot, but it's not going out so well for them at the moment. 1-for-1, NBK not showing, but he is getting tagged. They know he's there. Pops out at the right time, the bomb's being dropped, and suddenly it's K-Serato alone. They've only got 1 frag so far, FURIA, and he'll get smoked off the bomb as well. This could hardly be worse for him.
Yep, Zayu already activated right at the beginning. That's what you want to see, a quick 3K from him. And at this point, it might just be K-Serato looking for damage and, well, money primarily. There's an extra $300 per kill. That's what he's going to be trying to get. That is an extra smoke grenade or HE or flashbang. Let's see if he can get anything else done here. That's beautiful. It's a 1 versus 2 now. Surely not. There's no way that K-Serato can turn this into a winnable situation. There's still 2 players there. Flashbang out. Goes for another peek. Apex turns away. Can't quite find it. There it is. Alex last man standing. K-Serato. Would you believe it? That doesn't make any sense, James.
You cannot be serious. How on earth does it start like this? How does it start like this? 4 versus 1, smoked off the bomb. K-Serato, oh my God, showing his worth every round. This is absolutely ridiculous. Beautiful play from him. Oh, it's so nasty. The first round, look at the coaches like they've won the whole tournament. It's the first round.
Oh my God.
You're 4v1, your Vitality, you're 4v1, you smoked off the bomb. And you lose to FURIA like that. This is not how you want to start a best-of-3 series in the grand final.
I don't understand how that's, I don't think I've ever seen something quite like that in a situation, like in a grand final. That is so ridiculous. And we already get I think we're in a tech pause, James. So a moment to breathe. I love also the response from FURIA, how absolutely passionate and just hyped they are at all points. It's so awesome to watch. K-Serato, my God, what the hell was that?
How can you not love this team, honestly? We've had the pleasure of watching them in the online matches, so we saw them coming, but you can't expect things like that. You can't. You can't expect things like that.
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
Like, what else could you do? What else could they do at that point? What could they do?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could make the argument that Vitality were giving him too much respect instead of just trying to face with 2 or 3 players at once for the trade. Because K-Serato was able to isolate quick 1v1s with his shoulder peaks, but still, you know, you don't ever expect that to actually happen.
So in terms of too much respect, one thing we saw, I think it was North who were adjusting, where they realized that they had to be more proactive on their CT side to deal with FURIA's T side. You can't lay back and just allow them to execute because their executes are so solid. You've got to get in there and do something. So I do wonder, again, I think there's been a lot of data for Vitality to use to try and make a difference in the rounds to come. But again, that is not the start they wanted. They've just got 1 player reconnecting to the server, and then we will soon be good to go.
It just makes no sense. I'm just like replaying that round in my mind. It just makes no sense, James.
Yeah, and they've just got to sit there and wait for this tech pause to be resumed. So, like, is this even worse? They're just stuck in the nightmare. They can't refresh things with another round, even if it is a force by loss or something. They just got to sit there and think about how they were all deleted by K-Serato in the first round.
Yeah. And Zayu, he got like a quick 3K as well. It's pretty dominant for Vitality there in that top mid setup. Well, I mean, I think this is really cool to see personally, just because I do like it when FURIA gets these good starts on the T side, just because you get to see their game plan just go into full swing, and it's really interesting, just the kinds of decisions that they make. Again, they are a team that does things a little bit differently compared to everybody else, which is another reason why people enjoy watching them so much, because they also play kind of slow, also quite fast as well. So, you know, it's always an exciting prospect checking out their T sides. Vitality, though, obviously there is so much individual skill packed onto that team, and when they're on a force buy, which they will be on most likely here on the CT side of Inferno, there is a lot of danger around every single corner, so it should be quite fun. Lots of prospects for the 1-Deags. We've got 3 Deagles out. In fact, actually, James, they've not gone for the full buy here, but here is a replay. There's a nice triple from Zayu. It should be over. It should be over at that point. Job should be done. Apparently not, James.
Yeah, those two kills towards short, made things a lot more difficult. I suppose they could have taken deeper angles, but you're just not expecting this to happen. You can't reasonably expect this to happen. There are 4 of them. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, when you look at that, the replay, it does seem like Alex is really far away from Apex there. I mean, the flashbang, it may have been that flashbang just full blinded him, just like he was fully blinded. That could be the reason why he was really slow to trade Apex.
It's a difficult spot. You don't want to walk into your teammate's bullet as well. So there's a PC being replaced. I think Case Ratto's PC exploded after that 4K. So they're sticking his SSD into a new one, so it shouldn't be too much longer. But what a way to start off the finals. That is absolutely crazy. I do think it's... I'm really curious. Vertigo would be insane. I remember when Cobblestone first came into the map pool and we saw the Mag 7 plays towards one of the bomb sites and just absolutely crazy, like really exciting stuff. I do wonder if Vertigo's at that point or what we can expect from there. I hope it goes there just because it's just going to be carnage.
Well, the weird thing is that there's no established metagame yet on Vertigo. I think we might be another month or 2 away from that. I think that will kind of hit as we get into the next major. It seems like there's enough time before that major for that to be the case. So I mean, I feel like there are some leaders on how you should play Vertigo, but it's still not fully established. Like, I think, we brought up Optic a lot because MSL is obviously nerded out like crazy on that map, and they have some really clean set pieces and movement around the map. But at this point in time, every single matchup on that map just delivers something very different. Whether it's fast games, slow games, biasing one side over the other, or playing more defaults, everyone plays it differently right now. So we have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to Inferno again, I'm interested in how Vitality deal with Art on Banana, and if he will. But again, I mean, who knows? FURIA may realize the differences that happened in the recent Inferno, where he started to get naded off his position and he was forced away. Maybe he starts to rotate more. It seems that FURIA do have the plan Bs to the plan As, and they're still comfortable. So that will be interesting. I sincerely hope and expect that Vitality will offer more of a challenge in that respect, even if they are just for denial of information, not allowing them to have Banana for free, because it was free in that game of Inferno that I'm referencing.
Yeah, I'm looking to see some disgusting things from Apex on this map and in this series in general. I think the craziness of Apex. He's had some good games recently as well, but he can deliver a lot when it comes to being very aggressive, the entry frags, being a very dynamic rifler. So I feel like for me, he's one of the focuses on Vitality, especially because against FURIA, you really need your individuals to stand up tall, because they have a pretty deep talent. And that's something that we didn't necessarily expect. And I think that's always going to be the way, isn't it, James? Because we go so much off name value, but if players just come up out of nowhere, like let's take Obo for example. Obviously he's very young and there's a lot of development for his game that's left, but obviously the mechanical skill that he has is pretty ridiculous. And there's a lot of players like that coming up now, and Furious is another example of a group of guys like that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they haven't been separated as well.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to buy a player, it's going to cost you much more than is reasonable. No, okay, never mind. We'll just stick together then. It's something we don't always see. We sometimes see players getting poached, and then you don't really see the potential of that team. But I think we're certainly seeing it now. So if I'm not mistaken, if FURIA win this entire tournament, then some of their staff are getting tattoos, which is which is pretty awesome. Look forward to seeing the results of that.
The logo reminds me of Thundercats. Do you ever get that vibe?
I never thought about it, but now you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. The other cool thing about the fact that they don't split up is that they're in this situation where everybody's on the same page. They are just like one unit. They're one guy essentially, almost like like all 5 players operating in exactly the same way, same understanding, same expectations, same goals. So clearly the same amount of discipline and work ethic as well. That can be one of the difficult things when you're playing on a team, is finding 5 people who are on the same page in all of the right ways. And it seems like FURIA have that, and they've got the right flow. They've got great minds for the game. And it is, I mean, we've seen that comparison drawn between when Luminosity came up, and it is really really comparable, you know, and that was one of the things that Luminosity had going for them. They had Fallen, who was kind of this, you know, the fearless leader who really instilled not only a culture for the entire team, but he also helped the entire team to understand how to play the game. And they had, you know, because they were stuck in Brazil initially, where you don't have the biggest pool of talent to play against. So the only way to get to rise to the level that LG rose to is by just understanding the game, is studying it really hard. And clearly that's what FURIA have been doing, because they've come up with so much cool stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. One of the, just a quick update, the PCs are just testing something before they resume, so hopefully that is sorted out very shortly indeed. We'll keep you updated. Yeah, one thing that I like about the stronger Brazilian teams is that they absolutely have their own identity on the server. And that can be difficult to deal with if you're used to playing against something else. Can be unusual to play against, some people have commented, but I'm really interested to see where this one will go.
I mean, that's the point we're at now, right? For FURIA, like they've proven themselves at this point. They've proven that they have a pretty deep map pool, a pretty wide map pool, and they've got really skilled individuals, good leadership. They've proven that they can hang with the top dogs. But what the next big test is, when now everybody knows to study them, how well are they going to do in future tournaments when people know and know them, are more used to playing against them, and have an idea of what to expect. That's where the real test is going to be next for FURIA, I would say. But yeah, their meteoric rise has been pretty amazing to watch, and if they're able to actually take this tournament, that was just, I mean, no one would have predicted that. Firstly, no one would have predicted them to do so well at Dallas as well.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to run this deep. I thought they would. I was hoping they would do well, but I thought, you know, they've got a flurry of lands coming up, but maybe they'll still be in the online mode, and it might take a while. We have, what is that made of? We need beach balls. We need Freya beach balls at this point. I did want to note actually what an amazing job she has done on the desk. Her first time desk hosting, like a duck to water. Absolutely brilliant. So props to her. Give her some shout outs on Twitter and Instagram and so on. She's done a really good job, as we expected.
Loving the Alex support there in the crowd. That's good. There's some Bardov support there as well. What do you make of that, James?
That sign is amazing.
Nice.
I love that sign. That's the best sign ever, as far as I'm concerned.
Does it beat the sign with just your head? You see a giant version of your head.
That was a pretty cool sign, but I like the. That's 4 signs in one, so it's pretty cool. Great support for Alex in the crowds. So there's still some PC changing going on. Let me find out what's going on. Okay, some kind of graphical issue. Hopefully. Okay, still shuffling the PCs. Let's see in the booth. I want to see what's going on.
That trophy. It's glorious, James.
Yeah, it's a nice trophy.
That's actually very nice.
Okay, so in the top left, you can see the admins are sorting out the PC.
When was the last time you won a trophy, James?
I win a trophy every day by being me.
Do you, though? I don't know. I don't know.
A physical trophy.
Yeah, there's going to be like a time in life when you got a medal, like for, I don't know, like a relay race or something. You got long legs?
I do. I can't remember. I have a terrible memory. I'm not sleeping. I'm just playing CS. So I can't remember anything. What about you?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Don't know.
I can't remember anything either. I think
Glad we had this chat.
I think we've confirmed this job is slowly killing us, James. I think that's what we've confirmed.
It's a great way to die. I don't know.
It's true. It's true.
For those of you who didn't know, this venue used to be a swimming pool, a
Really?
giant swimming pool, and it's still underneath the floor.
So technically, would we be underwater if it was still?
Hopefully not, Dan. I did say to one of our guys in the back, if he takes a dump in there, I'll give him 50 quid. I don't think he's done it though.
Why would you say that? Why would you be that man? Why would you be that guy?
Why not? I want to see how far people are willing to go.
I was going to say, what if you really needed 50 quid? Then there's we have a problem.
Hopefully not.
So what do you make of Vitality so far? They've obviously been we have some really compelling storylines recently, because You got FURIA, you got Vitality, you've got Heroic, who are actually doing like very well also. You've got Avanga, another team that's definitely a solid dark horse. Actually, Avanga are kind of like the opposite playstyle of FURIA as well, which is quite interesting. They play their own style of Counter-Strike, which is very annoying to play against, but they play extremely slow paced.
So we're going to have a quick clip of the crazy reactions we've seen from both these teams in the matches leading up to the finals. So let's have a look at this. Even in the first round, oh, beautiful. Probably destroyed the headset just there. I love the hype, man, the passion. That's what it's all about. Probably another ridiculous round for K-Srat, so his teammates are like, what? Why is this happening? Glad it is, though.
And he's going to need some throat lozenges, James. He's going absolutely mad. It is actually so awesome to see coaches in the back and just seeing their emotional responses, because they're not sort of dialed into the game in the same way. They get to just go absolutely ham for their teams or look extremely worried and anxious.
Yeah.
It used to actually be very fun watching Threat, because Threat was just always looking extremely anxious and worried at all times.
Apex love and life. I want to see some more high-pitched screaming today, for
You know
sure.
what? Apex's screams are pretty legit. The only person I can think of that has maybe more of a legit scream is maybe actually Smooya, James. He's got a high pitch on him.
Vitality actually signed someone's head yesterday. I don't know if his head is still covered in ink today. He was hiding under a cap, but that is somewhere on Twitter, so keep an eye out for that. I'm sure some of the guys have been retweeting that.
It is hard to top Olafmeister though. He signed a baby, I think, very early on in his career.
Yeah. I was jealous, man. I want to sign a baby.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to sign a baby.
Somebody procure me a baby.
Yeah, please. Bring us a baby.
I demand a baby. All right, we're going to go to a quick sound CSGO video while they finish off with this stuff. So we'll see you back here in a few minutes.
All right, James, so why are we here?
Today we are going to use a flamethrower.
Are you serious? I guess it's you, isn't it? Okay, guess that makes sense. Oh, ostriches. Guns that very well should not really ever be in Counter-Strike. I think this might qualify. We have a bloody flamethrower.
Does it class as a gun? Or is it just a, I don't know?
It's a flame
More of
throwing device. So
Objects.
More of a support weapon, if anything. Right here we have the Vietnam era M9 flamethrower. So flamethrowers actually came out and saw use in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and then basically ceased out of all military service, mainly because the Genevan Convention banned them from use. They were considered inhumane. But biggest thing about this is they used them for clearing out bunkers, caves, fortifications, stuff like that. Incredibly easy. It did save a lot of lives when it came to taking over fortresses and things like that.
So it reduces the risk on entry, essentially, because the place was filled with fire.
Exactly.
We are going to be using it on cardboard today. So how far does this go?
With the proper mixture, it can actually shoot up to about 70 feet.
wow.
Okay. And there's a glove. What is the glove for?
The glove is mainly our use for the clients, is to make sure they don't get burned on the front hand, because it is quite toasty.
Okay, so the guys told me that I should not wear shorts because I might get a tan on my legs. So I've worn jeans today for that reason. And yeah, so we're going to put it on my back and then away we go. This should be very interesting indeed. Can I squeeze the pilot light? Can I? Yeah. I love my job. Are we good to go?
We're all recording.
All right.
Wait one. I'm gonna go ahead and pressurize the tank. It's gonna make a bunch of weird noises. Don't worry, it's normal. So if you see me running, run the other way.
This doesn't sound good, man.
Pressurize the wand. There you go, and I'm going to be standing right here behind you.
Okay.
You're ready. Your target's right there in front
So
of
I'm squeezing this one slowly second.
you. Yeah. So
All right.
start with the front one. Make sure you're holding it sideways again.
Oh,
Just
sideways.
Like
Okay.
sideways,
Yeah.
just like that.
All right.
Let off. Re-attack.
Oh my God!
Got about one more squeeze.
Holy
And that's it. Awesome. What'd you think?
What happened to the target?
Oh, it's gone. So James has just had his hands on a prehistoric, almost, it feels like that, it's from the 40s of course, a flamethrower. And how was that experience? Very novel.
At the beginning, they had to, I don't know, after it was loaded, they had to turn some knobs and things and get it prepared. And they said it's going to make some weird noises.